For years, Western netizens have been fascinated and often amused by the idea of China's social credit score system. It's become a running joke online, spawning countless memes that portray it as the ultimate symbol of control, with people jokingly checking their score for doing anything. But what do actual Chinese people think about it? Is it really the dystopian nightmare the internet makes it out to be, or just another exaggerated stereotype? Today, let's hear straight from young Chinese netizens themselves, their real, unfiltered takes on the so-called social credit system.
Most people's first reaction upon hearing about the social credit score is sheer confusion.
How could it possibly be false? Yesterday, I accidentally dropped my bamboo handle on the ground and forgot to pick it up, and it was charged as littering, deducting 50 credit points. Fortunately, I had enough time to help 50 grandmothers cross the street to recover them.
You're not helping 50 grandmas cross the street, you're helping one grandma cross the street 50 times.
It's true. I was exiled to Australia for riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, deemed an uncivilized act.
The concept of the social credit score stems from the West's superficial understanding of Alipay's HEMA credit score, distorted and malicious interpretations by media and anti-China forces, gradually becoming a deeply ingrained belief among the public.
I thought they were referring to Alipay's HEMA score.
The social credit system is showing cracks, promoting both the Chinese-style jaywalking and the claim that running multiple red lights leads to loss of personal freedom. Are you playing both sides?
They might have confused Alipay's credit score for the social credit score.
They claim that the social credit score is a fabrication, not HEMA credit. For example, they think that if we run a red light, points would be deducted, and if the deduction is low, there would be inhumane punishments.
Why people spread such bizarre rumors? What is a credit score?
The foreigner's first task is to figure out the difference between police and security guards.
The real social credit system exists in the United States. If your credit score is insufficient, it will affect job hunting, renting, buying a house or car, and even purchasing goods.
It's just mixing credit reports with Alipay's HEMA credit.
No, they're not mixed together. This rumor has been circulating abroad for a very long time.
It feels like watching BBC.
The most insidious aspect of this social credit score rumor is that when someone actually asks Chinese people about it, most who aren't familiar with the rumor assume they're being asked about ant credit scores. They give a vague yes, leading to countless people who supposedly verified it with Chinese individuals confidently claiming it's true.
I actually hope to use this credit score system, which would make many people more honest.
Once I chatted with a foreigner on Xbox, I suddenly didn't speak for a week. He asked if I was caught because my credit score was too low.
You might as well say the original account holder was executed because their credit score was too low and you inherited the account through auction. See what his reaction is.
The US has overthrown several small regimes with just words, creating a path dependence. But lies can't solve its own problems or bring down China. It might as well honestly engage in a trade war.
I checked the release date. It's been 20,255. Trump's tariff war has only lasted 2 months, yet they're still talking about credit scores.
No problem. We even use this meme ourselves quite often.
Why do so many people support this social credit rumor? He mentioned it's a long-standing Western myth claiming that every Chinese person's actions are recorded in a so-called social credit score, adding points for good deeds and deducting for bad ones. When deductions reach a certain level, you're gate. That's why he was confused about not seeing traffic light cameras recording violations. This has nothing to do with the credit records checked during bank loans in countries worldwide or our own Shima credit.
This is information warfare, creating false narratives through information gaps, and by embellishing and mixing various credit systems together, they fabricate the social credit score.
I actually wish there was a social credit score. On my way to work, a bunch of e-bike riders are riding on the sidewalk, forcing me to walk through the green belt. Can someone do something about this?
It's true. There are more and more uncivilized social behaviors.
Actually, there is also a credit score. If you quit a game midway, points will be deducted.
Out of nowhere, these ridiculous credit score rumors started appearing. And even if there were credit scores, they aren't necessarily bad. Why do foreigners mock this thing?
Credit reporting is a financial concept, yet it's not an administrative concept.
China have Avalon hidden score.
Isn't there a personal credit report?
It's not the same thing. The credit score you're referring to relates to financial matters like loan defaults. While their social credit score is based on adding points for good deeds and subtracting points for bad actions. If the score drops to 0, you're supposedly locked up.
The rumors about credit scores have become so exaggerated that they suggest execution once points are depleted. Once, during an argument with an anti-China person, he claimed I was acting as a China bot to boost my credit score. I literally laughed out loud. There are people who actually believe this.
The most ridiculous nonsense I've seen on foreign websites is claiming we have social credit scores. Foreigners believe this wholeheartedly. They're the ones living in information bubbles.
Who said there isn't? I was assigned to be her husband precisely because that woman's credit score was too high, and I still have to buy her a gift tomorrow.
The social credit score is a classic Western rumor about us, claiming we're under constant surveillance and that bad behavior like jaywalking deducts points, with 0 points leading to execution. If you see this rumor again, don't repeat it. The credit system you think exists isn't the same as the one they're spreading.
Honestly, these stereotypes are so cliché that I don't even care if they're misunderstandings or not. I just find them amusing.
I actually hope there is a credit score system. These old men and women dancing in the square are way too loud.
The social credit score system, if you really doubt its existence, just think about its feasibility. It's impossible to execute manually. It would require a third of the population to supervise the other 2/3. If automated, China's technology would be 2NB. The concept of Big Brother in 1984 is a work of science fiction, and even then, it's not possible to monitor every detail. People just tend to believe what they want to believe, no matter how outlandish the information is.
I only have Jima credit.
If that's actually true, that would be too wonderful.
Could this develop into a rent-seeking space, adding yet another? On the positive side, it might suppress some low-quality behaviors. On the negative side, powerless individuals might suddenly become reality as someone needs them to have poor social cred.
Social credit score? Isn't that a scoring mechanism mentioned in the previous Black Mirror series? I remember there was a short film with this theme.
In short, discourse power used to lie with developed countries in Europe and America, but now the balance has shifted. With our growing influence and enhanced capacity to shape discourse, the world is finally seeing the real China.
Can you sentence my colleague to death?
Where can I check my score?
China Higher Education Student Information Network.
Ha 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 ha. If productivity levels could truly reach the point of establishing a social credit score system, even with constant bugs, as long as it can run, this computational power would already be sufficient to manage a planned economy, right? Isn't this more practical than the invisible hand?
700 points? Will you give me a wife? I want Sakurai Momoka.